Hi, it's April from the Noble Garden, and today I'm going to wrap up my 3 series talking about what seeds. I'm going to start with my summer garden. So this video might be longer. There's way more vegetables and fruits in this group. One thing I want to start this conversation off with is that I'm located in Zone 7B. Everyone's Zone 7B is a little different, so make sure you're doing your research. Make sure that you're looking up your zip code and where you live to figure out when is the best time for you to start your garden and what best grows in it. So this is just what I'm doing, and I'm sharing my journey with you guys. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to talk about are my favorite vegetable, and that is tomatoes. I have my tomatoes separated into 3 different groups: cherry tomatoes, indeterminate tomatoes, and determinate tomatoes. Last year I did a video talking the difference between determinate and indeterminate. So I'm not going to go into that information in this video. I, however, can make another video, or I can link that video for you guys. But let's just talk about what tomatoes I'm growing. So the indeterminate, I do want to can this year. I plan on planting a total of 50 tomatoes in my big bed, and then my determinate tomatoes are going to go in pots again this year because I'm not going to have enough we're just not going to build those beds this year. So I think there was 16 of those that we planted, or 18 of those to do. So I'm still going to have lots of tomatoes, so I should be able to can this year. But 2 of the tomatoes that I really want to can with, because I've heard good things about them being good meaty tomatoes, meaning that they're less seed and more fruit, would be the Amish paste. I have not tried them yet. I have been wanting to know about them. The San Marzio tomato, which I have tried in the past. They're very yummy, but they're known for blossom end rot. And we will be probably going over that in another video because I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do to try to avoid that. The other tomato that I tried last year that I really like, and I have heard it could be good with canning with, it's a triple crop. It was one of the new ones from last year, and it was probably the most yummiest of the new ones. Maybe even my favorite tomato now. But I most definitely want to give this a try in my garden. I did try German Johnson last year, and I liked it, so we're going to give it another try. One tomato I tried last year, but it did not make it to where I got to actually try the tomato, would be the Paul Robertson tomato. So I want to try it again and hopefully successfully grow it this time, because it's supposed to have like a smoky taste to it, so I'm very interested in that. We talk about this one every year. Dr. Witchy, my yellow tomato that I love so much, most definitely has a place in my garden this year. Kellogg Breakfast is another yellow tomato I have heard about, and I want to see its comparison to Dr. Witchy. Early Girl is supposed to be like one of the earliest tomatoes. It only takes 52 days to harvest, and most of them are 70 to 80, so that's why it's going in my garden. It's supposed to be very prolific as well, so I most definitely hope this one works. I tried it last year. It got disease and never made it, so I'm hoping this year makes it. Next is the Cherokee variety tomatoes. So everyone's probably familiar with the Cherokee Purple. It's actually a very popular one. It is very yummy. It is everyone in my family's favorite tomato. So it's always going to have a place in my garden. The other 2, however, we tried the Cherokee Green before, and we really liked it. Last year it didn't make it in my garden. The seedlings died. And then the chocolate Cherokee was another one that I wanted to try because it's part of the Cherokee line. But its seedlings didn't make it last year either, so hopefully these 2 will do a better job this year with the plants. The next thing that we're going to talk about is my cherry tomatoes, because both these are also going to go in the ground. The Purple Bumblebee is a new one to try. Napa Chardonnay is supposed to be a really good yellow one. Its seedlings did not make it either last year, so I didn't get to try it. I was sad about that. I have 2 different blueberries. I have, and you can't see this is in envelope, but it's the blueberry tomato. It's a tomato that has like a purple shoulder, and it's my husband's favorite. I actually don't really care for it, but it's his favorite, so I always grow for him. I, however, loved the blueberry cream. It was sweeter. So both of those are being grown. New one to add is chocolate cherry. I'm sorry. I am doing chocolate cherry. This is not chocolate cherry I'm showing you. My best friend has those seeds, and she's going to give me a couple of those seeds. And the black cherry, the chocolate cherry was one that I found in a nursery last year that we grew that we really liked. And then the black cherry is actually supposed to be one of his parents. So I wanted to give this one a try to see which one's better, the black cherry or the chocolate cherry. My favorite yellow one is the Sun Gold. Last year I didn't have any that made it, so hopefully this year they'll make it. This red cherry is just a normal red cherry tomato. I bought the seeds this is actually one of my first seeds I ever bought. And so we're going to give it a try. My husband loved it the other year they're just bigger, rounder tomatoes. They're almost like a saladette size. They're not ones you just pop and eat. You're going to have to bite it, and then it takes like 2 bites to eat it, so it's not my favorite because it's kind of messy. But my husband really liked it, so I'm going to plant that one for him this year. And then one of mine and everyone else's favorite in the family is the Sweetie cherry tomato. So last year I didn't grow it, and we missed it, so this year I was like, I will grow it this time. So there's my cherry tomatoes. And then my determinate tomatoes. This one always makes me giggle a little bit, but it's called a booty tomato, and it's just a red tomato. It was kind of delicious, actually. Fantascio tomato is supposed to be a very prolific, disease-resistant cherry tomato. So it's actually a grape tomato, if I'm not mistaken. I wanted to give it a try. The Alberta peach tomato is supposed to be fuzzy like a peach. It's the same color as a peach, so it just kind of caught my eye. It was different. And they're like a 4-ounce tomato, so they're kind of like a saladette size too. The Amelia tomato, last year never made it, but I wanted to give it a try because it's supposed to be one that I could use probably for sauces, and it's actually supposed to be very resistant to a lot of diseases that I have trouble with, so I wanted to give it a try. I just never had the seedlings take off last year. Celebrity I grew last year. It was very good. It's not a big red tomato. It's like a medium-sized red tomato, but it has a lot of flavor to it. Green sausage is something new we haven't tried. They're supposed to be like a green-yellow cherry grape-like size tomato. They may also be that saladette size. And then our favorite determinate yellow tomato is the Carolina Gold. It's very prolific. It was one of my highest producing tomatoes last year, and it is very delicious. So there are my tomatoes. The other thing that I'm adding that's kind of tomato-ish that I've always been wanting to try is ground cherries. This is the Aunt Molly's. It's going to be my first time trying them. There's a pineapple one out there that I probably want to try too. But for now, it's when I'm going to try the ground cherry. Next, we're going to move along to peppers. So peppers, I always do a mixture of sweet and a mixture of hot. Now, my family does not do good with hot. We don't like super hot tomatoes. I'm sorry. My family does not do good with really hot stuff, so we don't do really hot peppers. However, we tried this Sugar Rush Peach from a farmer's market, and we really liked it. It is spicy. It does give us a kick, but if you mix it in dishes, it goes very, very well with dishes. The tame jalapeno, I keep trying stuff like this, trying to find a jalapeno that's not as spicy as a jalapeno. I'm going to give this another try. Last year, I think I got 1 or 2 off my pepper plants before we had to tear them up and move here. But they just taste like a green pepper to me. Every time I try one that's not supposed to be that spicy, they just taste like a green pepper. They don't taste anything different to me. They most definitely don't taste like a jalapeno with no heat. Shishito was one that I've heard about. I grew them last year. I, however, did not get to taste them. And they're supposed to be one that's really good to put like on the grill to grill with, so that's why it interests me. My husband loves to grill. Pronouncing names is going to get harder for me. So this is Poblano. I tried this one in a farmer's market, and we really liked it. It was really good in dishes, cut up into like, I made this beef, and it was steak and pepper steaks, what we called it. That's what we ended up calling it, pepper steak. That was really good with that. Same thing with Anaham. It's really good and stuff like that. And also, I want to make salsas. So a lot of these peppers are going to be in my salsas. The sweet side, Jimmy Nardino. I just call them Jimmy. They're really good. I got to try them last year, and I really liked them. Cubanelle. This is sweet. It's really good. I liked it. Now, the habanera is another type of spicy one. They've actually come up with the habanada, which is the sweet version of it. So this is not spicy. It's sweet and is really good. Of the bell peppers, I want lilac. I haven't found it yet, but if I find lilac will be added to this. If not, it'll be the Purple Beauty, the chocolate. The chocolate one I've tried is my 3rd year, and they're sweet and they're delicious. And then, of course, your California Wanderer. And I do have a pack of regular just green peppers. So, and one thing that we discovered with peppers that we really liked last year was stuffed peppers. I have this recipe that we found that we really liked. So I'm really hoping those bell peppers turn out. The next thing we'll go over is okra. I am the only person in my family that really likes okra. So I won't put but maybe 2 or 3 plants out. I usually do the cleanse and spineless ones. They're the normal green ones that you're going to find in the grocery store. I did do some research and found some different colored ones and decided to try the Hill Country Red. I might even do just these this year. I'm not really sure. I have plenty of space in my garden for them. The problem is like, unless I find someone to share them with around my area, I'm really the only person that eats them. So it's kind of hard to grow like 4 plants of something if I'm the only one eating them. One thing my family does love is cucumbers, and I'm hoping this year to be able to can some pickles for my family. I'm going to try 4 different cucumbers. I tried the straight 8 last year. Really wasn't impressed with them, but I'm going to give them another try this year. My favorite cucumber is the Summit one. I've been growing this one for years. Ever since I began my gardening. It's about 6 years now, and it is always my favorite, so it always goes in my garden. One other one I like, this one's probably not the best for making pickles out of, but it is very tasty just to eat, and this is the Garden Sweet Burpless. So this would be like my 3rd year growing that one. Last year, for the first time, we tried this Munch Alert one, and what we liked about the Muncher one is it's smaller, so it's much easier just to be in the garden, tear off, and just snack along the way. It also, one thing that I like about it is it does not need to be pollinated. It does self-pollinate, which I think is pretty cool. But I just like the small, cute size of them. And one of my favorite ones that I have not successfully grown, but I tried through my best friend, is the Armenian Yardlong. It is technically a squash, but if you let it grow small, it can be considered a cucumber and used like a cucumber, and that's how I plan on using it. They're very yummy and they're very big, so one of these can feed my family with 1 meal. So that's why I like them so much. I tried them last year. I did not successfully grow them. Something new for me that I want to try and read about is the Mexican sour gherkin. That will be new to me. I like to try new things every year. If you notice, like every single time I talk about different ones, I'm talking about new ones I haven't tried yet. So next thing will be beans. One thing that we always grow are these asparagus beans. They're also called noodle beans. I would love to get my hands on a red one. I have not yet been able to do that. These green ones, this will be our 3rd year growing them, and we really love them. You cannot cook these like regular green beans. They have to be put in a stir fry, and that's what we do. We put them on the stove with onion, squash, anything like that we can get our hands on that's good for like a stir fry. But green beans, speaking of green beans, I have tried bush and I have tried pole beans, and I have discovered I like the pole beans better. So this year, the 3 pole beans that we're going to do that we did last year and we liked, Kentucky, and we really like the rattlesnake ones. I've tried the Blue Lake ones. I must have used them all because I don't have any. I would grow them if I had some. If I find some, I might buy some and use. But I do want to give the Royal Burgundy another chance because last year just didn't really grow that well in my garden. But I am going to give it a try here. So the next thing's talking about stir fries. Let's talk about squash and zucchini. Squash and zucchini I love. My family loves them. We just don't have any luck with them because of squash bugs and the squash borer bug. However, we'll see how this area does. This is a different area. And then last year I learned a couple of things, tricks that I'm hoping will help me here. So my squashes, I'm just doing a yellow summer crookneck. These are the ones that have the, they're shaped more like this versus straight. And then the early summer, I don't know what the difference between these will be, but one looks like it's a darker color than the other. And then, of course, I did a straight neck, might as well do a straight neck as 2 crook necks just to give it a try and see which ones do better or which ones have different taste or whatever. And the same thing with zucchini. The gray zucchini we did last year actually was new to us, and we liked it. So I'm going to go ahead and add that back. The foot hook is just one that I bought to try. And then I went ahead and picked up the Lap Beauty. Corn is another one that I haven't had much luck with. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. It's because of pollination. Here I'm able to grow more. So I'm hoping by adding more that we'll get a better outcome with pollination. But I'm going to try, oh, they're both the same thing. I just realized that. Sorry, guys. So it'll be the Stool's Evergreen. I did not realize that I bought the same two. That's totally fine. It's supposed to be a sweet corn, and that's how we like our corn, is a sweet. So the sweet white corn, which is fine. If I find some other ones out there, I might pick up another pack. And then the last two things we'll go over is watermelon. Last year, I had such a great outcome with watermelon. I think we ate like 6 watermelons. It was crazy. So the Crimson Sweet I grow every year, and the Cali Sweet we tried last year, and I have both seeds left of those, so I went ahead and just decided to do that instead of venturing out. Cantaloupe, honeydew, melons are our favorites. One that we grow every year is the How's Best. It's just a normal one. I think these are probably the ones you find in the store, but they're really good. We grow them every year. But I did go ahead and pick up 2 more melons to try. The Minnesota Midget cantaloupe.
Ow.
And the Amish melon. Those are 2 new ones for me to try. And then, of course, we do like honeydew, so I picked up the green flesh honeydew to try. And one melon I have heard a lot from different people about is the Kajari melon. I have tried it for 2 years, and I have not been successful with it. I'm really hoping 3 times the charm, because I really want to give this one a try. So there you guys have it. I am also making you guys a video that goes over my seed rack setup. And I do have 2 documents that I made that might be helpful. And this is for me, but I can share it with you guys so you can kind of see how my brain tracks everything, and it could be an idea for you guys to track. One has everything broke down into dates and when I start their seeds. There are stuff that will go directly in the ground, such as you can start okra by seed, but I'm going to probably just put okra in the ground. It's worked fine for me. Squash, zucchini, corn, my melons, my cucumbers, my beans, my watermelon. All of those can go in the ground and be fine. However, the cucumber melon, I did hear that needs to be started by seedlings. Peppers and tomatoes need to be done by seedlings. I'll probably do ground cherries by seedlings, but everything else here will probably just be thrown out. Not probably, will be thrown out in the garden. But like I said, I made 2 documents. One is a spreadsheet of figuring out how many trays I need to make. And the other one was just a document that I wrote up about when I'm going to plant what. And it's just plotted out by dates. I can share both of those with you guys just to kind of give you an idea how to break your stuff down. I do thank you guys for watching my videos. And remember, if you like them, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.